Hello everybody and welcome to event 10 of the Trio Marble Championship. We are approaching the ending. We have 3 events left to go. Of course, event 12 is the end, so we are 3/4 through. Today's event is the Snow Moguls. The goal, similar to many other events, is to be top 2 in your heat of 4. Top 2 will move on, and then top 2 from that will move on to the finals. There have been points this season where the race for first place has been close. There are points where it has been a landslide to the Twilight Tailors, and now it is down to just 7 points up top over the Lilac Lightning, the Freezeburn, Sparkling Stars, also up there in that conversation, but you get down into 5th to the rest of the field, and it gets harder to win the further down you go. Some teams cannot win. The Scientists are one of them. That was the example run. You see the surface is very bumpy, and so teams don't really know how they want to approach this heading in. They've never really had an event similar. But Pigment and the Twilight Tailors in first heat, hoping to impress. Scorch, Electron, and Plazu will be up there with them. And they're off. Electron had an early lead and holds it to the end. Pigment advances for the Twilight Tailors. And every time the Twilight Tailors get into that top 8 of an event, they're eliminating more and more teams from contention, I would have to think. Electron wins, Pigment second, third to Scorch, fourth to Plazu. The Plasma Stripes were eliminated last round, so they weren't planning on winning this tournament, but they would have liked to get to that final 8 there. 12 teams to run. 14 teams can still win. Panthy, Dimmer, Chemistry, and Hound now. Dimmer and Panthy, marbles to watch, they would like to win because they are up top and the Polar Panthers are the host, but here comes Chemistry, and it's a very close race for second place, but Panthy got it done. Dimmer held it briefly, could not hold it for long enough. Hound never really had a shot there, but almost stole third at the end. Look at all of Dimmer's momentum die off as they crawl across the finish line. Chemistry and Panthy move on. Chemistry, one of the marbles on the team that can no longer win, so if you're up there like Dimmer and Hound, you really would have liked those points. Chemistry takes them instead. Costa, Basalt, Sodium, and Win-Win. Lots of teams that can win. In fact, all 4 teams in this heat still can. And they are off. Sodium holds it and takes it to the end. Basalt falls to last. Costa will advance as well. Look at that start for Sodium. They hold it all the way to the line. Win-Win-Win comes back from pretty far behind everybody else to take third there. Sodium and Costa perhaps keeping their championship hopes alive. I'm not sure where the points will fall. It also depends where the Twilight Tailors place. If they get 8th of 8, doesn't matter too much, but if they get a medal here, a lot of team seasons are going to end early. Celsius, Lilac, Sniper, and Crimson. Of course, everyone comes to the last events, but you would like to be able to win it there. Lilac, marble to watch here. Will they advance? I think they did. Sniper takes the heat, but that is very close. Might even require a photo finish. I can tell you the Freezeburns did not advance, and the team sitting in third, they would have loved those points. It's going to a photo finish. I think Lilac has it. Crimson was very close. But of course, I'll reserve my judgment. It was Lilac, just barely. And Crimson, again, that could be their season. Celsius has not much of a gap to the top teams compared to everybody else. Like I said, that top 4 are pretty separate, so I believe they will both be able to win heading into Event 11, but it will be pretty close, especially if one of the top 2 teams gets a medal. You can see both of them there, not happy with their results. Crimson, Scorch, Win-Win, Basalt, Plazu, Celsius, Dimmer, and Hound. So very poor results for both of those teams, and also for the Wolf Warriors. Now Electron, Sniper, Panthy, and Costa. Everybody fighting to stay alive in this tournament. Polar Panthers, they are the hosts, their fans nervous. But the marbles are off, and Panthy to the front of the field eases the worries of the crowd, and they will advance along with Sniper. They never even gave the fans anything to be worried about there in that heat. They led from end to end, and Sniper did a good job holding everybody else off. That one was kind of 4 teams there in a line, Panthy, Sniper, Electron, and Costa in that order, of course. No real deviation in that heat. Good start for Panthy. They held it all the way to the end, and same goes for Sniper. Costa and Electron go no further. Pigment, Sodium, Chemistry, and Lilac, the 2 big hitters in this heat, along with the team that can no longer win, and Sodium. How will it shake out? Here they go, and both will advance. Pigment and Lilac take this into the medal round. Chemistry and Sodium both would have liked to take a win there, or maybe even expand that gap up top for the Twilight Tailors, because Lilac Lightning have already won. Chemistry briefly was in the top 2, but fell out of it, and Sodium never really had a shot there. So this last heat will be incredibly important for the overall championship, because both purple marbles, are going head-to-head. Electron is out, Costa is out, Chemistry and Sodium will go no further, so it's them, the hosts, and Sniper as your final 4. The fans want Panthy to win. Pigment and Lilac both want to take control of this championship, and Sniper would love a medal here for his team. Who will take it? They're off, and Sniper, out to the lead. Sniper, a true underdog story in that heat. Sniper gets gold over the Twilight Tailors and the Lilac Lightning. 2 of the biggest teams in this tournament, and the hosts. And Sniper and the Camos come out on top over all of them with a sub 2-second time. And while the purple marbles were focused on each other, Sniper was focused on the gold, and he snipes it here. That's their first gold medal of the season. That's their first medal in general of the season, and their first individual gold ever. You have to go back to Event 4 of Season 1. That's the last time they won gold. Funnily enough, Lilac Lightning were also 3rd place on that podium, and the Twilight Tailors did not exist yet. They are currently leading going into the penultimate event, and that lead will continue to grow with 7 points heading into this. Now, it'll be 9. Truly a season to celebrate for both of those purple teams, but the marble that will be celebrating the hearts tonight is Sniper from the Camos. Congratulations to them for the gold medal. Of course, Sniper as a marble means so much to his team and his fans. Ever since that first photo-finish win of Season 1, you got the feeling something was special, and he finally gets it done. And only 5 teams can win. The Camos stay alive because of that gold medal, but they, the Sparkling Stars and the Freezeburns, would need a miracle to win over either of these top 2 teams. Twilight Tailors sit at 130, Lilac Lightning 121. A battle of purple titans up top, and they have 2 events left to decide who sits atop the final podium. We'll catch you in the next one. Curling.